Slav defense, exchange, symmetrical line, 7.E3 E68.Bd3 Bxd3 9.QXD3 BD6 10.Bxd6 QXD6 11.000 12.RFC1. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. Opening with the queen's pawn. The move d5 establishes control over the e4 square, frees up the light-squared bishop, and builds a presence in the center. A wing pawn is available in the queen's gambit to attack the center and divert black's attention away from the e4 square. The d5 pawn is supported by c6 in the Slav defense. Cx d5 releases the tension between the c4 and d5 pawns, creating a symmetrical pawn structure if black recaptures with the pawn. Cx d5 recaptures the pawn and creates a symmetrical pawn structure. Nc3 develops the knight toward the center and attacks the d5 pawn. Nf6 develops the knight toward the center, supports the d5 pawn and controls the e4 square. Nf3 controls the e5 square, advances the knight toward the center, and helps the d4 pawn. The pawn on d4 is attacked, the knight moves toward the center, and the e5 square is under the control of Nc6. Bf4 develops the bishop to an active diagonal where it controls the center. Bf5 develops the bishop to an active diagonal and maintains symmetry. E3 supports the d4 pawn and bishop on f4 and allows the light-squared bishop to develop. E6 supports the bishop on f5 and the pawn on d5 while allowing the dark-squared bishop to develop. Bd3 develops the bishop toward the center, attacks the bishop on f5 and prepares castling. Bxd3 captures the bishop before white can capture on f5. Qxd3 recaptures the bishop. Bd6 develops the bishop toward the center and challenges the bishop on f4. Bxd6 exchanges dark-squared bishops. Qxd6 recaptures the bishop, develops the queen and controls the b8h2 diagonal. Castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. Castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. The rook is now on an open file, which helps control squares across the board. It is the last book move. A rook enters the action after developing outside of its starting square as a result. It is quite good. Among the best actions. It is quite good. A solid choice. It is excellent. That's fine. It is good. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. A very strong play. It is excellent. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening.